The Lion's Secret, MenelikI and the Ark of the Covenant. The night air was thick with whispers. Torches flickered along the walls of the grand temple in Axum, their glow casting long, trembling shadows. MenelikI, son of the wise King Solomon and the formidable Queen of Sheba, stood at the threshold of destiny. His heartbeat was steady, but his mind swelled with the weight of his mission. He had stolen the Ark of the Covenant. The golden chest, its radiance muted beneath a thick cloth, sat secured in the chamber behind him. It had taken cunning, speed, and the unwavering loyalty of his men to smuggle it from the heart of Jerusalem. Now, it rested within the walls of his mother's kingdom. But the theft was not just an act of defiance, it was prophecy. And soon the world would know the price of challenging the will of the gods. A princess calling. Menelik had always been different. Growing up in the kingdom of Sheba, he was the prince of two worlds, one foot in his mother's land, the other in the legacy of his father, Solomon, the great king of Israel. But he had never met his father. Not until the day the stars aligned and destiny summoned him. It was his mother, the queen, who sent him on that fateful journey. "You must meet him," she had said, her voice firm but tinged with something Menelik had never seen before, fear. "You must understand who you are." And so, Menelik traveled across the desert, his heart burning with curiosity. When he finally arrived in Jerusalem, Solomon welcomed him with open arms. The king saw his own reflection in the young man's face and rejoiced. For months, Menelik lived among the Israelites, learning their wisdom, their laws, their power. But what fascinated him most was the Ark of the Covenant, the golden chest said to hold the stone tablets inscribed by God himself. It was the heart of Israel's might, a weapon that could shake the earth. But Menelik's time in Jerusalem was not meant to last. The elders whispered, the nobles grew uneasy. A foreign prince, no matter whose blood he bore, was a threat. And so, Solomon, torn between love and duty, told his son to return home. Menelik obeyed. But his heart burned with the knowledge that he was leaving behind something greater than himself. Then, the dream came. A lion, bathed in golden light, stood before him. "The ark must come home," it growled. "For the truth has been forgotten, and soon the gods will demand reckoning." Menelik woke in a cold sweat. He knew what he had to do. The theft. He did not steal the ark alone. Before he left Jerusalem, he discovered that many of Solomon's own priests and warriors shared his doubts about the kingdom's future. They believed Israel had strayed from God's path and that the ark, his presence, should no longer remain among those who had become blind to its power. And so, under the cover of night, Menelik and his most trusted followers crept into the temple. The air was thick with incense, the flickering light of the eternal flame dancing on the gold-plated walls. The ark rested behind a heavy curtain, guarded by priests who believed no man could touch it and live. But Menelik did not fear. As he reached out, a surge of energy crackled through his fingers. A whisper, not a voice, but something deeper, something ancient, echoed in his mind. "Take me home." The moment he and his men lifted the ark, a gust of wind howled through the temple, snuffing out the torches. A single priest stared, his eyes widening in horror as he realized what was happening. "The ark," he gasped. Menelik moved swiftly, pressing his hand over the man's mouth. "Forgive me," he whispered before a blade did what words could not. They carried the ark into the night, their every step silent as death. The city of Jerusalem slumbered, unaware that its greatest treasure was slipping away. By the time the first horn of alarm sounded, Menelik and the ark were already beyond the gates. The pursuit. They rode like the wind, their horses pushing past exhaustion. Solomon's warriors, furious and desperate, gave chase, but Menelik's men were prepared. They knew the land, the hidden paths through the desert, the rivers where their tracks would vanish. 4 days, the chase continued, but the ark itself seemed to protect them. Storms swallowed their pursuers. Wild beasts stalked the trails behind them, yet never struck. And on the final night, as they crossed the Nile, Menelik turned back and saw the impossible. Solomon's army had halted at the riverbank, unable to pass. It was as if an unseen hand held them back. With the first light of dawn, Menelik and his men crossed into Ethiopia, where the queen awaited them. The ark had come home. But peace was not yet theirs. The reckoning. Word of the theft spread like wildfire. In Israel, priests wept, elders tore their robes, and Solomon, heartbroken yet powerless, could do nothing. Some say he died mourning the loss, knowing that the ark had left his kingdom forever. But Menelik knew the ark's power was not in its gold or its history. It was in what it meant. As he placed it within the holiest chamber of Axum, a hush fell over the city. The sky darkened, the earth trembled, and a voice, not of man, but of something greater, spoke through the silence. Here it shall rest. Until the world is ready to remember. Menelik knelt before it, understanding at last. The ark was never stolen. It was never lost. It had simply come home. But the secret of its resting place will become the greatest mystery of all. And for generations, the guardians of Ethiopia would protect it. For those who sought the ark's power would never stop searching. And the lion's secret would never be safe. Epilogue. Centuries have passed, and the ark remains hidden. Some say it lies deep within the church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Axum. Its keepers want to protect it with their lives. Others whisper of secret tunnels, of mountains where only the worthy may tread. But one truth remains unshaken. MenelikI, the son of Solomon and Sheba, the Lion of Judah, was the only man who ever stole the Ark of the Covenant and lived. Or perhaps the Ark had chosen to go with him.